Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Angel Medina, Angel Ramon Medina, your boy, the Hybrid Nation, author of the Thousand Years War series. You've probably seen me way too many times, and I'm here to bring you another podcast. But this one, I think authors and readers should really pay attention to this one, because this is a very important one. The subject is, why have book sales gone down, and it's the media to blame? And actually, I can't take all the credit for this podcast. I gotta give credit to Grant Neisman, one of the veteran in the Hybrid Nation, who came up with a blog post of his own, which is up on the web as well. If you want to check his version out. But when I did it, I took his version, cut it down a little bit and just added my thoughts to it. Because I feel like even though he came up with some very good points, I feel like that more needs to be said. There's more that needs to be added to the mix. So to start, I was in the baby shower. I had a good time. Normal Friday night, just to enjoy myself after all the hard work I put myself through just to finish my third book and edit it and make sure it's good for the public. Had a great time. In fact, the celebration wasn't the problem. Celebration was the best part of the night. It's when I got home around midnight, I decided to just check out the blog post. I took a look because I know Grant Neisman writes some good blog and informative blog posts. He's the reason why the Hybrid Nation got formed because of his inspiration. And one article caught his eye. It was titled, "Where Have All the Readers Gone?" So with my instinct, I took a look at it. I took a look, at what his thoughts are, and it mentions that the past few months book sales have gone down significantly. Not just a small percentage, it's gone down significantly. Which makes me wonder, thank God I'm still selling. Thank God people are still buying my books. But how long will that last? Some of these reasons I kind of already knew, but others kind of opened my eyes deeply. And then it got me thinking that there's more reasons than just this I could come up with. But, so what I did is, these are I took his 3 reasons, and all this is on the blog, on the Hybrid Nation website, on the blog, and cool stuff. You could check that out. It's the first article, so give it a look. And I think for authors, fellow authors, and indie authors especially, and even readers, you want to pay attention. These are the 3 big reasons that Grant came up with my buddy. He lives in the Philippines, New Zealand. Shout out to you, my friend. I know even though we were like a 12-hour difference, I'm in Puerto Rico, you're out there, but we both have a common cause: get people to read. Anyway, first reason is the market is simply flooded with too many 99-cent books. There's just way too many. I'm guilty of it. I do have a 99-cent book out there, but I need mine of high quality. Many people have told me it's a good book, so. But unfortunately, I'm the exception rather than the rule. And unfortunately, to put my 2 cents into it, many of these 99-cent books are of bad quality and it gives indie authors a bad name, because even though they're cheap, that gives the author an excuse to do a poor job, just as bad formatting, grammatical mistakes, and just a lousy story. I've seen too many. So and like Grant said, how can we good authors compete with this unethical practice? If you're gonna sell a book for 99 cents, at least put the effort into making it a good book. Format it. Come on, don't be lazy. I learned the hard way, but at least I'm trying. I'm willing to learn. And as far as when we do book reviews, I don't want to give 1 or 2s. As long as the person is willing to change, is willing to learn from my critique. But if I see another book by the person and he ignores my critique, I won't be as nice. Then I know he's a hack. But if I see you're trying to adjust, you're my guy, because I am not a hack by any stretch of the imagination. I will fix any critique, and Grant has critiqued my book before, so I've tried to adjust. So because he's a veteran and he knows what to expect. And to add insult to injury, I see box sets for 99 cents, and I see an epic book for $2.99. Does that seem fair? I'm trying to sell an epic book for $2.99, one large book. How am I supposed to compete against a box set of 10, 12 books for 99 cents? Probably not. It's not, but like Grant said, it's not much we can do about it. We just have to move with it and try just continue what we're doing. The second reason he came up with is a number of free books out there. Now, it's nothing against free book promotions. I get it. I've done it before. But once again, back to the 99-cent books. It's the quality. It's the poor quality. And unfortunately, I did read one bad quality book that I didn't want to review. And I didn't feel like it was even worth it to review. It's garbage, in my opinion. But I don't want to say anything since, even though I know the author didn't even put any book to it, only 3,000 words long, so I should have said something. But, I'm a nice guy, so I'll just mention it. It's just, and it gives the book market a bad name, which doesn't deserve it. It doesn't deserve it. Independent authors do not deserve a bad name that these hacks are giving us. The third and scariest reason he came up with, and I have to agree, is the sheer size of the amount of books. There's just too many books out there, which makes it harder for hardworking authors just as me and him and everybody in the hybrid nation to break out and have people purchase our books. Our words that we work so hard to write. It's tragic. I mean, we both agree that, and I think many others are going to agree that this is the scariest, theory of the three he came up with. And it's only one that's going to get worse. And the amount of hacks, you're going to have all these hacks coming in, pretend authors, wannabe authors, just hacking their way in and just significantly dwindling down the quality of independent authors as we see it. But, like I told Grant, like me and him were discussing, we had a little bit of a discussion, the day after. Unfortunately, the time difference doesn't necessarily work to our favor, but we discussed it a little bit where, I told him, just hang in there, buddy. Things are going to get better, and I still say things are going to get better. There's bound to be a quality control. There's got to be quality control to control the quality of these poorly made books. Don't even let them get into market, But I still feel like the independent authors are going to rise. Independent self-published authors are going to rise over traditionally published books. I still get that excellent feeling. So I told Grant, I'm not giving up writing. No, I'm not doing it. And he said, you shouldn't. I'm not doing it neither. And that's the best thing us writers can do. Keep on writing, keep on doing what we're doing, and just let it play out. Hopefully book marketers or, Amazon, they come up with a quality insurance program which kicks out these poor quality books, or if a book gets too many 1 or 2 star ratings, it's got to go, so that way, you can keep the good ones. So, and I think because when you come to think of it, you have to understand the consumer is fickle. They don't want to read a book that's bad. They want to read a book that's good. If they're gonna spend their hard-earned time, their hard quality time reading a book, it's gotta be good. I think consumer confidence has gone down. That's an outside reason that it's not on the board, but I wanna add just now. Consumer confidence has gone down because there's just so many bad books out there. Consumers are just not as confident as they used to be. So, but it has to be said. Now, all those reasons are excellent and great and all valid, but here's the problem. There's more. There's a lot more. Let me show you something. Let me show you the big red logo of yes, Nintendo. Yes, Nintendo. And you're wondering, how did this blog post go from books to a giant video game company? Well, the answer is simple, my friends. My theory is, while yes, there are many books in the market, yes, it's true. Grant is absolutely one of his reasons. But many young people, ages 10 to 45, prefer to play video games and warp their minds with unoriginal ideas, not to add that exposes kids to be violent, delinquent, and most importantly, encourages kids to never touch a book in their lives, or to never read a damn book. In my opinion, the rise of video games began the decline of reading, and the numbers prove it. During the late 1990s, around the time I was growing up, I had an N64. I'm guilty of it. I do play video games when I was a kid. But then I said, wait a minute, am I really getting any smarter playing video games all the time, or am I getting dumber? And and I was a little naive little kid back then, but I'm a full-grown, grumpy adult that sees that video games are rotting our brains, and we kind of need to stop giving Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft the benefit of the doubt that we're going to keep buying the video games, which I have to say have gone down in quality. Even as a video game geek, I say the video games have become complete shit, if you ask me. Some people may disagree with me, but that's my opinion. And it's maybe a little biased because I'm an author and not a video game developer, and I want the writing market to go up. But the truth of the matter is, video game sales outnumbered book sales by more than triple, by almost triple. That, my friends, is very disturbing. It's a simple theory. Many kids just find it easier just to pick up a controller and fry their brains with video games that have the same damn idea over and over and over again. No originality, no effort, just the same boring, bland, generic story. It's painful. And don't even get me started on DLC. Don't even get me started on DLC. I don't even want to hear those three letters. I will literally grab you and choke you if I hear DLC. I don't want to hear those damn words. That's a cop-out for Nintendo and other companies just to make money off our feeble minds. At least in the book, us writers can make stories out of anything outside the box, and therefore much more enjoyable. And you don't have to pick up a controller and fry your brain, And the words we use are not so elementary. Who knows? You may learn a thing or two about or expand your vocabulary. 1 or 2 words per book, or even more, 3 or 5 words per book. You're learn something reading a book rather than frying your brain with video games that have a vocabulary at best elementary level, or even junior high school level, vocabulary. To video game geeks, Atari represented a new destruction of the video game world. For us, it represented an opportunity to regain readers that have been lost to video games. Honestly, in my opinion, I wish video games would simply go away. I don't play them. I don't care for them no more. What Atari did to nearly save the literary world, Nintendo had to come in and save the video game industry and save all the video game geeks and bury us off this down to the ground that we call hell, and it showed that we have to live a life of being poor artists trying to make an honest living. So the next time you see Mario, this Italian plumber, just remember he's a plumber who's never read a word in his video game life, and is only limited to saying, "Hee, I got it," or "Ooh, very nice. I'll see you next time." Simple one word sentences. Simple sentences with no originality in an Italian accent. That's Mario's vocabulary. I know Mario fans are gonna kick my butt, and I was a Mario fan at one point. But now that I know the truth that Mario really isn't all that smart, I kind of changed my stance quite a bit. And I have never seen a generation do so poorly on reading tests, and even less than read even less than the generations of my parents. My father is a smart man because he used to read all the time. In fact, he wants to write a book that I will write for him as a ghostwriter. So stay tuned. Sometimes I feel ashamed that I'm a part of a generation that sees people like Drake, Justin Bieber and Miley Cyrus as role models. Ugh. Garbage, I call it. Garbage. Not that I got anything against music, but those artists are garbage. You know, and any of my friends that want to say, go ahead, say it. I can't believe I go over a group of people who can't read a damn contract correctly, and also the same ones who are corrupting my generation of people. Now, if I know you personally, if you're from high school, from my neighborhood, I know you're on Facebook with. I am not talking about you. If we study together at Transit Junior High School, I'm not talking about you. You guys are very intelligent people, all of you. I don't like mentioning names, but Quentin, Oberlin, Brandon, George, it's just too many. I don't want to mention names. You guys are all intelligent. But unfortunately, you have to look at facts. We guys, we're the exception rather than the rule of our generation. We are the intelligent exception. Many of our kind are too dumb to realize anything and make dumb mistakes. So I urge everyone to ignore the media, pick up a book once in a while, and see you don't need to watch television or listen to the garbage media to be entertained. Now, just go out there and get a good book. This media crap is getting me sick, and don't even start me with politics such as Trump or Hillary Clinton. So neither of them are any good. No way am I supporting Trump, but Hillary is just as bad. Which is the reason why I came out here. So I don't have to endure that crap. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this podcast, and I hope you wasn't too disturbed by my language and emotion. But this is a very emotional topic, and one that just gets me pretty upset because I just want people to read. It's painful. It's unnecessary that this has to happen. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. And subscribe to my channel for more podcasts and book reviews and more, cool stuff, Goodbye, my friends, and toodles.